Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. You're tuned into the Risk Taker Sports MLB Picks and Prediction Show. I'm your host, Colby Covers, and I'm going to go over the 11 day games for today, Wednesday, April 2nd. I'm also going to give you a 3-team parlay for the later games tonight. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to put your favorite picks in the comment section below. If you want to see every bet that I place every single day, you got to join our free Telegram chat in the description box below. Just look down there in the description box, find the Telegram link, click it, and you'll be joined into the group. Let's get started and go over these 11 day games for today's slate. In our first matchup of the day, we take a look at the Rangers at the Reds. On the mound for the Rangers to start the game will be Jack Leiter. And on the mound for the Reds will be Hunter Green. The Reds sit at the favorite price of minus 125. And the dog price for the Rangers is plus 105. The over and under sits at 8.5 right now. Both of these pitchers played pretty well in their first start this season. Hunter Green threw 8 Ks in 5 innings. That's pretty solid to start the season. The Rangers have had issues scoring, and I think that might continue in this matchup right here. Cincinnati is a sneaky team that if they get some runs going, they can definitely get hot and it can get contagious and they score a lot of runs. I think this will be a solid pitching matchup though right here. So I'm gonna take the under 8.5 in this one. Next, we take a look at the Pirates and the Rays. On the mound for the Pirates will be Paul Skeens. And on the mound for the Rays will be Ryan Pepiot. It's a lot of these pitchers' second outings for the season, so we do have a couple stats to look at based on their first outing. And the Pirates sit at the favorites price of minus 120 right now, and the Rays sit at plus 100. The over and under sits at 7.5 right now. Both of these pitchers, just like the last matchup we were talking about, both of these pitchers had solid outings in their first starts this season. Skeens was doing what he does, man. He threw 7 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings, and Pepiot, he just was dealing against the Rockies. Um, I'm not solid on the Pirates offense, but I do like this pitching matchup. I think runs come at a minimum in this matchup. The Rays have been playing well in their new home. But this is one of those matchups where I look at the first 5, Paul Skeens on the mound. Like I said, Ryan Pepiot looked good in his first matchup. So I'm gonna take the under in the first 5 in this one. In our next matchup, we take a look at the Royals and the Brewers, the ass Brewers. On the mound for the Royals is Cole Ragans, and on the mound for the Brewers is Freddie Peralta. The Brewers sit at the favorite price of minus 115, while the Royals sit at minus 105. The over and under sits at 7.5 right now. I'm not high on either one of these pitchers. I don't expect anything in this matchup. This is definitely a stay away game for me. Like I said, the Brewers are ass. Both of these pitchers, I don't plan on watching this game at all. I got to see some fight in the Brewers before I take them as a favorite. They're not showing me anything. They're just looking terrible right now. Like I said, this is definitely a stay away from me, but I'm gonna pick it, give y'all a pick like I do every single day. And if I was taking this game, I'll take the over 7.5 in this one. Next, we take a look at the Angels and the Cardinals. On the mound for the Angels will be Yusei Kikuchi, and for the Cardinals will be Sonny Gray. The Cardinals sit at the favorite price of minus 150, and the Angels sit at the underdog price of plus 125. The over and under sits at 8.5 right now. In this one, the Angels they've been hitting the ball pretty good. Um, or actually, I should say they haven't been hitting the ball pretty good. They've been winning games and been struggling to hit the ball. Um, Kikuchi was solid last season, and I think that continues this season. Sonny Gray did have 6 Ks and 5 innings in his first start. The Cardinals playing pretty well right now. They could be a sneaky team coming up in a couple months as well. The Angels got to show me something before I can put some money on them. This is probably a game I won't bet, but if I bet it, I would take the Cardinals money line at minus 150. Next, we take a look at the Twins at the White Sox. On the mound for the Twins will be Pablo Lopez, and for the White Sox will be Sean Burke. The Twins sit at the favorite price of minus 180, while the White Sox sit at the underdog price of plus 150, and I think that's crazy. The over and under sits at 7.5 right now. Um, I don't understand this price. Pablo Lopez looked terrible in his first start. He gave up 8 hits in 5 innings. Um, and the White Sox actually know how to score runs this season. So I think that continues. I think they continue to score runs. Um, like I said, the Twins haven't showed me anything. I don't understand. How have you not won a game, but you're favorite at a price of minus 180? Somebody gotta tell me what's going on with that. So until they show me otherwise, then I'm gonna stick with the on the White Sox side. I've been taking them in the first 5 on the money line, and it's been cashing for me. So like I say, my favorite thing to say is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I ain't gonna fix this. I'm gonna continue taking the White Sox at plus money. Like I said, the Twins are terrible. Um, maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but uh, I think, like I said, baseball is a value sport, and you got to pick where the value is. And this is one of the spots I think today that we get some value. So give me the White Sox here on the money line at plus 150. Next, we take a look at the Washington Nationals and the Toronto Blue Jays. On the mound for the Nationals will be Mackenzie Gore, and for the Blue Jays will be Kevin Gausman. The Nats sit at the favorite price of minus 120, while the Blue Jays do sit at plus 100. The over and under is the 8.5 right now. Mackenzie Gore was dealing in his last matchup, 13 Ks, only 1 hit. Gausman was decent. He's not a pitcher that I like to back at all. The Blue Jays offense has been pretty solid. They've been able to score some runs. The thing with Washington is can the offense back up Mackenzie Gore's pitching? And I don't think they can. Like I said, I do have some hope for the Nationals in the coming months as the season goes on. But right now, like I said, I got to take where the value is. I think Mackenzie Gore has another good pitching night, but I got to take the value. I got to take the Blue Jays at home plus money. There's no way I can't pass this up. I do think this is a low scoring game. Like I said, Mackenzie Gore plays pretty well. I don't expect the Washington Nationals bullpen to slow the Blue Jays down though. So if I'm looking at this one, I'm gonna take the Blue Jays on the money line at plus 100. Next, we take a look at the Cubs and the A's. On the mound for the Cubs will be Jameson Taillon, and on the mound for the A's will be Jeffrey Springs. The line is at minus 110 for both teams right now, and the over and under is 8.5. I don't understand this price one bit right now. This is definitely a no fucking bet for me. No fucking bet for me on this one. Taillon was terrible in his first matchup. Like I said, he was pretty solid in his first matchup. He struck out 9, but like I said, I don't get why the line is like this. Maybe it's because the A's are so terrible. But this price scares me. So if I'm getting the A's at home against a Taillon who played terrible in his first start, um, give me the A's money line. It's probably no bet, but give me the A's here. Next, we take a look at the San Francisco Giants and the Houston Astros. On the mound for the Giants will be Landon Root, and on the mound for the Astros will be Framber Valdez. The Astros sit at the favorite price of minus 165, while the dog price for the Giants is plus 140. The over and under sits at 8.5 right now. Um, Framber Valdez actually looked solid in his first matchup. Um, he played well through 7 innings. The The Astros offense got to figure it out though. If they can't figure that out, then I don't know where the runs come from, and I don't know how they will consistently win games. Eventually it'll get right, but early in the season, I don't know what it is and what it's going to take for them to get some hits and get some scoring going. The Giants, they have started off on the right track, winning a few games, being able to score, but I think some stuff slows down in this matchup. Like I said, Framber Valdez did show up in his first start this season. I think he comes in, plays pretty well in this one. I do think we get a couple runs in this one, but not enough to go over the 8.5 number. So I'm gonna take the under 8.5 here, and that's gonna be my pick. Next, we take a look at the Guardians and the Padres. On the mound for the Guardians will be Ben Lively, and for the Padres will be Dylan Cease. The Padres sit at minus 180 right now, while the Guardians sit at plus 150. The over and under sits at 7.5 right now. When I take a look at this one, I want to take the over in this one. Both pitchers were solid in their first matchup. The Padres are hitting the ball pretty well, and Tatis is in the zone right now. And when he's in the zone, I don't want to fade those guys on offense. So I do think we get a lot of runs scored in this one. The Guardians don't look bad themselves. They can start getting some hits consistently, and get on base. I'm pretty sure they start getting a ton of runs in. I think that happens in this matchup right here. Um, we get runs galore in this game. So I'm definitely taking the over 7.5 here. And that's going to be my bet for this game. In our next matchup, we take a look at the Detroit Tigers and the Seattle Mariners. On the mound for Detroit will be Tariq Skubal, and for the Mariners, it will be Luis Castillo. The Tigers sit at the favorite price of minus 120, while the dog price for the Mariners is plus 100. The over and under sits at 6.5 right now. I don't understand why it's that low. I think it's that low because of how good Tariq Skubal was last season. He did get hit up in his first game against the Dodgers, which is a tough team to play. They did show some fight against that Dodgers team. They did prove they can score some runs. Seattle got to wake up though. They got to get the bats going. Got to start scoring some runs. Um, I do think we get over that 6.5 number in this matchup. That's a low number. Like I said, for Tariq Skubal, who got hit up in his first matchup. It might be a little different in this one because it's not the Dodgers, but I do think somehow, some way, we get over the 6.5 number, whether the Seattle Mariners start to wake up or whether, like I said, the Detroit Tigers start to score runs consistently. So I'm gonna take the over 6.5 in this one, and that's gonna be my final bet. I almost forgot about the final game of the day, for the day slate, I should say. The New York Mets and the Miami Marlins. On the mound for the Mets will be Clay Holmes. For the Marlins will be Connor Gillespie. The Mets sit at the favorite price of minus 185, which is way too high for me. And the Marlins sit at the dog price of plus 155. The over and under is 8.5 right now. When I look at this game right here, like I said, that line, like I said, this sport is a value sport. And that line for the Mets is way too high for me, especially on the road for a team who consistently can't find hits. With a Juan Soto who is not looking like the Juan Soto the Mets thought they were gonna get from the jump. There's no way I could take those guys here. Um, the Marlins been showing fight, man. They've been showing that they can play hard. They've been showing they can compete. So when I look at this one, I do see the Marlins with a plus 1.5 at even money. So I'm definitely gonna look that way in that direction. I'm gonna take the Marlins plus the 1.5 runs at plus 100. Um, if I lose that, um, I I shouldn't. We shouldn't lose that one right there. It should be a close game. Like I said, the Marlins have been showing some fight, so I think they continue to show some fight in this one. And that'll be my final bet of the night, or for the day slate, I should say. As always, I appreciate you guys sticking with me this far into the video. For that, I'm gonna give you guys a 3-leg parlay. If you like what you see, Make sure you hit that like button, as I always say. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of this great content. I want to give you this parlay. I'm actually going to play this parlay myself. The first leg of the parlay is going to be the Baltimore Orioles money line versus the Red Sox. I like them in this matchup as a short dog at home. I think they come out, they play hard, they find some hits, find some runs, and get the win in this one. My next leg will be the Phillies on the money line. I know it's a steep price, minus 325, which is why it's a parlay leg for me, and it's why I'm not actually planning on betting this game. But I do plan on betting them on the money line in this parlay. I think they come in and beat the Rockies. The Rockies are terrible on the road, and I think that continues this season. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Phillies on the money line for my second leg, and for my third and final leg, I'm gonna take the Yankees on the money line. I really like Carlos Rodon. I think he'll come out, have a good day against this solid Diamondbacks team. Like I said, the Diamondbacks can hit the ball pretty well, but I think the Yankees get right and win this one at home. This money line parlay is plus 366. So you do as you please with that. If you put $50 on it, you'll get half of whatever 366 is. I'm not about to do math on here. This ain't a math channel. But if you bet $100 on this parlay, it'll pay out 366 for you. So you take that information, take it as is. But I'm definitely betting this parlay right here. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in to the Risk Taker Sports Channel. This is the MLB Picks and Predictions Show. I'm your host, Colby Covers. And if you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you put your favorite picks in the comment section below. If you want to see every bet that I'm placing every single day, make sure you look in that description box below and join our free Telegram chat. It's free, it's free, it's free. You don't want to miss out on any of that content or any of that information that we giving out in that chat. Hey, always remember, bet responsibly, but stay risky. We'll see y'all on the next one.